Hey, precious. You all comfy now? Ready for a bedtime story? Hmm. I always love this time of night. Remember, tonight is King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard. You know, I've been looking forward to this all day. I get to sit here with you and we get to share these little moments. It feels like everything slows down when I'm with you like this. It's just me, you, and a good story. Did you have a good day today, precious? I hope so. I always want the best for you. Remember that for me, please. I'll always be here for these moments when you need quiet, no matter what else is happening. Now, let's get started, shall we? King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard. Author's note. This author ventures to take the opportunity to thank his readers for the kind reception they have accorded to the success of editions of this tale through the last 12 years. He hopes that it is in its present form, it will continue to fall into the hands of an even wider public, and that in the years to come it may continue to afford amusement to those who are still young enough at heart to love a story of treasure, war, and wild adventure. March 11th, 1898. Postscriptum. Now, in 1907, on the occasion of the issue of this edition, I can only add how glad I am that my romance should continue to please so many readers. Imagination has been verified by the fact that the King Solomon's Mines I dreamed of have been discovered and are putting their gold once more, and according to the latest reports, their diamonds also. The Kukanas, or rather the Matabele, have been tamed by the white man's bullets, but still there seem to be many who find pleasure in these simple pages. That they may continue to do so, even to the third and fourth generation, or perhaps longer still, would, I am sure, be the hope of our old and departed friend, Alan Quatermain. H. Rider Haggard, 1907. Introduction. Now that this book is printed and about to be given to the world, a sense of its shortcomings both in style and contents weighs very heavily upon me. As regards to the latter, I can only say that it does not pretend to be a full account of everything we did and saw. There are many things connected with our journey into Coconut Land that I should have liked to dwell upon at length, which, as it is, have been scarcely alluded to amongst these curious legends which I collected about the chain armor that saved us from destruction in the great battle of Vlue, and also about the Silent Ones, or the Colossi at the mouth of the stalactite cave. Again, if I had been given way to my own impulses, I should have wished to go into the differences, some of which are to my mind very suggestive, between the Zulu and Kukana dialects. Also, a few pages might have been given up profitably to the consideration of the indigenous flora and fauna of Kukunaland. Then there remains the most interesting subject. That, as it is, has only been touched on incidentally, of the magnificent system of military organization and force in that country, which in my opinion is much superior to that of the inaugurated Chaka in Zululand, inasmuch as it permits of even more rapid mobilization, and does not necessitate the employment of the pernicious system of enforced celibacy. Lastly, I have scarcely spoken of the domestic and family customs of the Kukinas, many of which are exceedingly quaint, or their proficiency in the art of smelting and welding metals. This science they carry to their considerable perfection, of which is good example to be seen in their tolas, or heavy throwing knives, the backs of these weapons being made of hammered iron, and the edges of beautiful steel welded with great skill onto the iron frames. The fact of the matter is, I thought, with Sir Henry Curtis and Captain Good, that the best plan would be to tell my story in a plain, straightforward manner, and to leave these matters to be dealt with subsequently in whatever way ultimately may appear to give the desirable interpretation. In the meanwhile, I, of course, shall be delighted to give all information in my power to anyone interested in such things. And now, it only remains for me to offer apologies for my blunt way of writing. I can but say in excuse that I am more accustomed to handling a rifle than a pen, and cannot make any pretense to the grand literary flights and flourishes in which that I see in novels. For sometimes I like to read a novel. I suppose the flights and flourishes, are desirable, and I regret not being able to supply them. But, at the same time, I cannot help thinking that simple thoughts are always the most impressive, and that books are easier to understand when they are written in plain language, though perhaps I suppose I have no right to set an opinion on such a matter. A sharp spear, runs the Kukana saying, needs no polish. And, on the same principle, I venture to hope that a true story, however strange it may be, does not require to be decked out in fine words. Alan Quartermain. And this is, now, King Solomon's Mines. Chapter 1. I Meet Sir Henry Curtis. It is a curious thing that up to my age, 55 last birthday, I should find myself taking up a pen to try and write a history. I wonder what sort of history it will happen to be when I have finished it. If I have ever come to the end of this trip, I will have done a good many things in my life, which seem long one to me, owing to my having begun work so young. Perhaps at an age when other boys were at school, I was earning my living as a trader in the old colony. I have been trading, hunting, fighting, or mining ever since. And yet it is only 8 months ago that I made my pile. It is a big pile, now that I have got it, but I don't know yet how big. But I do not think I would go through that last 15 or 16 months again for it. No, not if I knew that I should come out safe at the end, pile and all. But then I am a timid mad, and dislike violence. Moreover, I am almost sick of adventure. I wonder why I am going to write this book. It is not in my line. I am not a literary man, though very devoted to the Old Testament and also to the Ingoldsby legends. Let me try to set down my reasons, just to see if I have any. First reason, because Sir Henry Curtis and Captain John Good asked me. Second reason, because I am laid up here at Durban, and the pain in my left leg ever since that confounded lion got a hold of me, I have been more liable to this trouble, and rather bad just now. It makes me limp more than ever. There must be some poison in a lion's teeth, otherwise how is it that even when your wounds are healed they break out again? Generally, mark you, at the same time of year when you first got your mauling. It is a hard thing, when one has shot 65 lions or more. I have in this course of my life, that the 66th should chew your leg like a quid of tobacco. It breaks the routine of the thing, and putting other considerations aside, I am an orderly man, and don't like that. This is, by the way. Third reason. Because I want my boy Harry, who is over there at the hospital in London studying to become a doctor, to have something to amuse him and keep him out of mischief for a week or so. Hospital work must sometimes pall and grow rather dull, for even of cutting up dead bodies there may become satiety, and as this history will now to be dull, or whatever else it may be, it will put a little life into things for a day or two while Harry is reading of our adventures. Fourth reason, and last, because I am going to tell the strangest story that I can remember. It may seem a queer thing to say, especially considering that there is no woman in it except for Faltula. Stop. No. There is Gagula, if she was a woman and not a fiend. But she was 100 at least, and therefore not marriageable, so I don't count her at any rate. I can safely say that there is not a petticoat in this entire history. Well, I better come up to the yoke. It is a stiff place, and I feel as though I were bogged up to the axle. But suchos, as the Boers say. I am sure I don't know how they spell it. Softly does it. A strong team will come through at last. That is, if they are not too poor. You can never do anything with poor oxen. Now, let's make a start. Look at you. Already fell asleep. Stay safe in the gondola tonight. And tell Morpheus I said hi. Sweet dreams on the river Lethe, precious.